Have you ever wondered why some people seem to thrive well into their 80s while others struggle after 70? Today, our friendly house doctor will uncover 5 silent habits that may be quietly draining your health. Let's start protecting your future self, one simple change at a time, right now. Before we reveal the first habit, take a calm breath and picture your greatest joy, perhaps playing with grandkids, tending roses, or dancing at a friend's birthday. Those bright moments depend on choices we make each day. Small, unnoticed routines can lift or limit that precious picture for many years ahead. Our goal is not to scold, but to guide with kindness. Each habit comes with an easy remedy you can start this week. Think of me as a neighbor stopping by with fresh advice and a cup of tea, not a lecture. Ready to feel reassured and empowered this morning? Throughout this video, I will share stories from patients in their 70s who reversed risky patterns and gained energy. Their experiences prove change is possible at any stage. Listen for the moment that mirrors your life and jot down one action you promise to try today before the sun sets. Finally, remember that good health is a team sport. Share these insights with your spouse, neighbor, or church group. When we encourage one another, habits stick. So, stay until the last tip, because the 5th habit surprises nearly everyone and may be the easiest to fix in your daily life. Picture a retired postal worker named Frank who traded his walking route for marathon TV sessions. Within a year, he complained of stiff knees, weight gain, and restless nights. Medical tests flagged rising blood sugar and blood pressure, all linked to prolonged sitting. If your recliner feels like a second skin, you might share Frank's risk. The first silent habit is staying seated too much, a pattern that sneaks up because it feels harmless and comfortable. Why does sitting hurt us? When the big muscles in our legs stay idle, circulation slows, making the heart work harder and starving brain cells of fresh oxygen. Over time, plaques can build in arteries, and small clots may form in the calves. Researchers from the American Heart Association estimate that adults who sit over 8 hours daily have a 40% higher chance of cardiovascular death compared with those who move regularly every half hour. The fix begins with tiny, doable steps. Stand during phone calls, march in place while commercials play, or keep a resistance band near your favorite chair. One of my patients, Sarah, set a kitchen timer to ding every 30 minutes. She used the cue to circle her dining table twice. In 3 months, her ankle swelling disappeared and her mood lifted. These microbursts add up to more than 1 hour of extra activity each day. To track progress, tape a simple checklist to the fridge. Mark every half-hour break with an X. The visual pattern motivates further movement. Technology fans may prefer a smartwatch reminder, yet paper works just as well. Importantly, choose activities you enjoy: watering plants, stretching, folding laundry, or pacing while listening to favorite gospel hymns. When pleasure pairs with motion, consistency follows. Your heart thrives, joints loosen, and evening fatigue fades into peaceful, deep night's sleep. Next, set a weekly target such as 10,000 steps, but break it into friendly chunks for brisk minutes 5 times daily. Studies from the National Institute on Aging show these mini walks reduce insulin resistance almost as much as one long session. Celebrate milestones by phoning a friend or updating a calendar sticker. The proud record reminds you that motion equals freedom. Freedom to travel, cook favorite recipes, and volunteer without ever worrying about sudden aches. Action plan. Right after this video, stand up, roll your shoulders, and walk to the nearest window. Look outside and pick a landmark, a tree, a mailbox, or the neighbor's flag. Promise yourself to reach that point 3 times today. Write the pledge on a sticky note and place it atop the remote control. Each glance will invite movement, and movement will help silence the hidden dangers of endless sitting before they steal another healthy year. Meet Dolores, age 72, who believed lifting anything heavier than a purse was risky. One slippery morning, she fell while reaching for the bathtub rail and fractured her wrist. The orthopedic surgeon explained that her muscle mass had faded by nearly 30% since middle age. Weak muscles failed to cushion bones and slow reflexes, turning minor stumbles into major injuries. The second silent habit is ignoring simple strength exercises that rebuild protective lean tissue. After 60, humans lose 4 to 7% of muscle every decade unless challenged. This process, called sarcopenia, slows metabolism, making weight control harder. Yet reclaiming strength does not require a gym membership. Research from Tufts University shows that seniors who perform chair squats and wall push ups 3 times a week regain balance, lower blood sugar, and boost mood. Resistance triggers hormonal signals that tell bones and nerves, stay young, stay adaptable, no matter age. Dolores began with 2 soup cans as makeshift dumbbells. She sat on the edge of her couch, pressed upward 10 times, rested, then repeated. Over 6 weeks, her grip strength improved enough to open pickle jars, an everyday victory that delighted her grandchildren. Small wins create motivation spirals, reinforcing the identity of someone who cares for her body. The wider family noticed her posture straightened, and her doctor reduced osteoporosis medication dosage after new bone scans. Choosing exercises matters less than forming a routine. Aim for 2 days focused on legs and core, 2 on arms and shoulders, with 1 rest day for recovery. Use a sturdy chair, resistance bands, or gallon jugs filled with water. Always warm up joints with gentle circles and breathe steadily, exhaling during effort, inhaling on return. Keep movements slow to safeguard tendons. If pain spikes beyond mild soreness, pause and consult a physical therapist for guidance. Track strength gains by logging repetitions and weight each week. Watching numbers climb sparks confidence. Consider inviting a neighbor to join. Partner sessions double accountability and add laughter. You might alternate between chair squats and standing rows, cheering one another after each set. Community centers often provide beginner classes funded by local grants, and Medicare Advantage plans sometimes cover Silver Sneakers memberships. Take advantage of these resources. They exist to keep you independent, resilient, and joyful. Action plan. Choose 1 muscle group to train tomorrow morning. Write the movement name, like wall, push ups, on a note and tape it to your toothbrush. After brushing, perform 2 gentle sets. Circle a calendar square when complete. That visual trophy feeds motivation chemistry in the brain and begins a virtuous chain reaction. The stronger you grow, the steadier your gait, the easier stairs feel, and the more adventures you can enjoy with children and dear friends. We often crave comfort foods like white bread toast or sugary cereal, especially when morning joints ache. George, 75-year-old former mechanic, began each meal with crackers or cookies, believing them easy to digest. Gradually, he noticed afternoon crashes, blurred vision, and tingling toes. Lab work revealed prediabetes edging toward full diabetes. The third silent habit is fueling the body with refined carbohydrates that spike blood sugar, then leave organs inflamed and energy evaporated completely. White rice, pasta, and pastries digest quickly, overwhelming insulin's ability to shuttle glucose into cells. The surplus is stored as abdominal fat, which secretes chemicals that raise blood pressure and cloud memory. A study from the Mayo Clinic followed 1,600 adults over 70 and found those with high refined carb diets were nearly 4 times more likely to develop mild cognitive impairment compared with peers who favored vegetables, legumes, and whole grain fiber daily. When George swapped morning cookies for 2 scrambled eggs and a handful of spinach, his energy stabilized by the second week. He added sliced avocado and noticed fewer nighttime bathroom trips. High-quality protein and healthy fats slow digestion, keeping sugar steady. He jokes that the green hue of his breakfast reminds him of his grandson's superhero costume, strength and color. Visual cues like vibrant produce encourage consistent choices and make plates look inviting instead of restrictive. The easiest guideline is the half-plate rule. Fill half with vegetables or fruit, 1/4 with lean protein, and 1/4 with carbs like quinoa or sweet potato. Keep frozen broccoli and berries on hand when fresh produce prices spike. Flavor meals with herbs, garlic, or lemon instead of sugary sauces. Drinking a glass of water before eating helps control portion size and supports kidney function, especially important when medications place strain on filtering organs. For inspiration, browse farmers' market stalls or recipe apps that feature diabetes-friendly meals. One viewer, Betty, prints out a new colorful recipe each Sunday and tapes it to her fridge. Shopping with purpose keeps shelves free of tempting donuts. If budget is tight, choose bulk dried beans and cook them in a slow cooker. The aroma fills the house and beats the smell of reheated fast food. Nutritious eating must satisfy the spirit as well. Action plan. This evening, replace just one white carb item with a fiber-rich option. Swap white bread for whole grain toast or white rice for cauliflower rice. Write your choice on a note, and tomorrow place the refined version at the back of the pantry. Out of sight, out of mouth. Within 2 weeks, taste buds adjust, cravings fade, and blood sugar readings begin to level. Celebrate each improved reading with a walk-around block. Alice always blamed muffled conversations on her friends' quiet voices. She nodded politely at church socials, yet missed punchlines, retreating into silence. Months later, her daughter noticed that withdrawn behavior and scheduled a hearing test. Results showed loss in both ears. Untreated hearing decline is the fourth silent habit eroding health. It isolates seniors, accelerates cognitive decline, and increases fall risk because the brain works overtime deciphering sound, leaving fewer resources for balance and memory. More than half of Americans over 70 have measurable hearing loss, yet fewer than 1/3 use aids. Many fear stigma or expense. However, Medicare covers diagnostic tests, and over-the-counter devices approved in 2022 cost less than a fancy smartphone. Johns Hopkins research links hearing aid use to a substantial reduction in dementia risk across 5 years. Clear sound keeps social circuits firing, preserving language processing speed and emotional connection, 2 pillars of healthy aging. Alice began by wearing her new devices during television time only, adjusting to amplified background noises. After a week, she wore them to Bible study, where she finally caught every hymn lyric. Friends welcomed her bright laughter, and the church potluck felt lively again. Social engagement triggers endorphins and reduces stress hormones like cortisol. Lower cortisol helps control blood sugar and supports immune strength, proving that better hearing ripples far beyond clearer conversations for health. If you suspect loss, start with a simple online screening. Many pharmacies offer booth tests as well. Bring a trusted friend to appointments to help note recommendations. Ask about trial periods, battery life, and insurance discounts. Modern aids pair with smartphones, allowing volume tweaks and background noise filtering through an app. Remember to clean devices nightly and store them in a dry case. Consistent maintenance prevents costly repairs and extends the lifespan of delicate electronics. Apart from devices, protect remaining hearing by lowering television volume, wearing earplugs when mowing lawns, and choosing quieter restaurants for family dinners. One viewer wrote me describing how she now requests seating away from loudspeakers. Staff happily oblige. These small choices save delicate inner ear cells from further damage. Combine protection with brain training apps that practice distinguishing voices among noise, keeping auditory pathways sharp. Like physical exercise, sensory workouts maintain agility you can feel daily. Action plan. Schedule a hearing screening within the next 10 days. Mark it alongside doctor appointments in your calendar. While waiting, practice turning the radio volume down 1 notch and focusing on lyrics. This trains ears and mind together. Write names of 3 friends you will call once devices improve your clarity. Social goals reinforce commitment. Better hearing revives conversation, nurtures laughter, and shields memory, offering priceless connection that medicine alone cannot supply for years ahead. Charles loved crossword puzzles his 50s but gradually swapped them for passive scrolling on social media. By 73, he found remembering neighbors' names difficult and felt embarrassed at community dinners. The brain, like muscle, follows a use it or lose it rule. The fifth silent habit is neglecting mental workouts that build new neural pathways. Without novelty and challenge, connections shrink, slowing processing speed and increasing risk for depression and early dementia symptom signs. Scientists at the University of Texas tracked 200 seniors who learned photography and digital design over 3 months. Brain scans showed increased activity in regions tied to memory and problem solving. Participants also reported greater life satisfaction. The lesson: complexity matters. Watching documentaries is pleasant but passive. Producing something new, whether a watercolor painting, a Spanish phrase, or a phone video for grandchildren, forces the brain to form fresh circuits, similar to lifting weights for neurons. Charles decided to join a community college guitar class advertised as beginner-friendly. The unfamiliar finger positions frustrated him at first, yet classmates encouraged patience. After 10 lessons, he could strum "Stand By Me," impressing family during Thanksgiving. Learning music engages hearing, memory, and fine motor skills simultaneously. Triple training for the brain. His sleep improved as practice replaced aimless scrolling, and he described a spark of purpose returning, confirming research on purposeful learning and mood. Not every challenge must be artistic. You might volunteer to teach children chess, learn a new recipe weekly, or follow museum tours, pausing to sketch favorite paintings. The key is concentration and novelty. Set measurable goals. Master 10 guitar chords, memorize 1 poem, or complete a free online course on American history. Celebrate progress with small rewards like a set of coloring pencils. Recording milestones in a journal helps visualize brain growth and fuels pride. Technology offers endless puzzles. However, use screens wisely. Limit passive scrolling and instead download brain training apps that adapt to skill level. Choose games verified by independent studies to improve processing speed, such as speed matching tasks or pattern recognition exercises. Pair digital play with face-to-face activities, board games, book clubs, or debate groups, because social interaction multiplies cognitive benefits. When laughter and challenge intertwine, neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin surge, nourishing happiness and reinforcing learning for older brains. Action plan. Tonight, list 3 new skills you have always wanted to explore. Circle 1 and schedule a 15-minute trial tomorrow, perhaps downloading a language app or watching a beginner guitar tutorial. Tell a friend to create accountability and jot early impressions in a notebook. Remember, progress may feel slow, yet every attempt sprouts fresh connections. Over months, these seeds blossom into sharper focus, brighter mood, and richer conversations that make life after 70 truly extraordinary. Look back on the 5 habits: sitting too long, skipping strength work, eating refined carbs, ignoring hearing, and neglecting mental challenges. Perhaps one stands out like a flashing warning light. The beauty of midlife and beyond is freedom to steer your future. Your body is listening and will begin healing the moment you invite healthier rhythms. Small shifts today compound into stronger legs, steadier moods, and clearer, lasting connections tomorrow. Choose one habit and write a simple pledge card. Maybe it reads, "I will stand every half hour," or "I will learn 3 guitar chords this month." Tape the card where you'll see it, on the fridge, bathroom mirror, or coffee maker. Each glance reminds you that age is not an anchor. It is a sail catching new winds. The commitment, not its size, signals the brain that change is underway. Share your pledge with someone you trust. A grandson might text daily check-ins, or a neighbor could walk alongside you after lunch. Social support turns intentions into reality, adds laughter, and builds shared memories. Studies from the AARP show seniors with robust networks live 7 years longer on average. Connection nourishes purpose, and purpose fuels perseverance long after initial motivation fades. Through storms and sunshine, you move forward together triumphantly. Remember, setbacks will occur. If you miss a walk or skip practice, replace criticism with curiosity. What barrier appeared, and how can you adjust? Gentle problem solving keeps momentum. Celebrate every gain. A lighter grocery bag, steadier balance, sharper recall of song lyrics. These are signposts of progress along the road you are paving at your own courageous pace. One day you will look back and smile with gratitude and pride. Thank you for spending time with me today. If this message sparked hope or practical ideas, please tap like, share the video with a friend, and subscribe so our growing community can keep supporting one another. Your engagement tells YouTube to show this guidance to more seniors across the country. Together, we can turn silent habits into strong, vibrant lifestyles and keep writing joyful chapters beyond the age of 70.